Time for the SEC to accept reality. No longer the uncontested king of college football. The era of the sex dominance in college football may have finally come to an end. And it's time for fans, media, and even SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey to admit it. The old narrative that the SEC is head and shoulders above every other conference is increasingly looking like more myth than reality. With Notre Dame's 23-10 win over Georgia in the CFP quarterfinals and the Sec's disappointing 1-4 postseason record against the Big Ten, it's clear that something has shifted. In recent years, the SEC has relied on its well-established reputation and dominance in recruiting to maintain its upper hand. But the introduction of name, image, likeness, has leveled the playing field. Now, talent is spread more evenly across conferences. And teams that once relied on stockpiling players are seeing recruits land at a wider range of programs. Even within the SEC, we're seeing recruits choose programs like Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Texas A&M over traditional powerhouses like Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. This isn't the SEC we saw under Nick Saban or Urban Meyer. The league that once ruled college football is now facing stiff competition from all directions. And it's not just about the Sec's best teams being outclassed. The physicality and dominance that used to define the SEC are no longer guaranteed in postseason matchups. When Alabama was physically dominated by Michigan this season and when even in victory, Texas was able to push around SEC teams, it was clear the SEC no longer holds that unassailable edge. The SEC is no longer the unbeatable force it once was. Teams like Michigan and Ohio State have proven they can compete physically with the Sec's best. The long-standing belief that the SEC is in a class by itself is being challenged. And it's time for the league and its fans to accept that reality. This isn't about rooting for the underdog. It's about recognizing that the playing field has changed and that the SEC is no longer as dominant as it once was. So, what's next for the SEC? Like all dynasties, the league will likely go through cycles of rebuilding and adjusting. But the days of the Sec's unquestioned dominance should be over. It's time for the SEC, its commissioner, and its fans to embrace this new era of college football, one where no conference holds a permanent crown.